Hello. I know the nights are hard when you're missing someone who's passed on. And a lot of you are probably wishing that you could have an easier time going to sleep. Staying asleep, that would be nice. And wishing for that dream everyone talks about. When somebody passes away, that they come back to you in dreams. And this is a true statement. However, they're also always with you. You need to really know that your loved ones are right here. You're just not able to see them. And you can do something to increase your chances of having one of those dreams they talk about, the lucid dream, something I'm very familiar with. One of the best ways to ensure that you have a lucid dream with your loved one, because you are already having dreams. You just are not remembering them because they don't just disappear. They come to you. They are whispering in your ear, they're touching your cheek, they're making you feel like there's hair on your face when they're trying to kiss you, their energy, their incredible living spirits as they were before they came into the earth, as you were before you came in. So you can walk around and have conversations with them, knowing that you are actually having conversations with them. And that thought you have, that response, when you say, I wish you were here, and you hear, I am here. Or I know, I wish that I was there too. And they do. They, even though they are here, they want the touch. And that sensation of cuddling. And so you are both truly missing one another. And yet you're together. You're not capable of separating, actually. That has something to do with quantum entanglement, is what I'm being told. And you can look that up and learn about it. Especially mothers and their children, because they carried them in the womb, and so there's shared cells there. It's like impossible to break that. Whether you're the child and your parent is passed on, or you're the parent suffering the loss of a child, which I know is just horrible. And I wish I could send you comfort and ease and faith that you will one day be able to connect again when it's your turn. But they don't want you to just bail and leave. They want you to stay. And your spirits love to watch you live your life. They love to watch you eat and what you watch on TV, your walks, your time in nature. You laying there in bed trying to go to sleep, as this is nighttime. So I thought I'd give you a nighttime type of message. As I've been connected and been seeing spirits since I was 4 years old. So for me, it's easier when someone passes away, and because I get to continue to have the conversations, I get to continue to see them. And there's tricks or secrets or things you need to know if you would like to have more of that ability, and that is to make yourself happy. How do you make yourself happy when you're in the deepest depths of grief? It's a challenge. But you can pull out photo albums and try to relive moments and just really be in the moment again. If you can bring yourself to the state of joy of watching a video or looking at a photo of a moment in time that was just really, really special for you, that's the best way to elevate your energy. Because just like when you hear the static sounds on the TV, the frequencies released from radios, that frequency, we all have one. Everything has a frequency, even rocks, which is why crystals are kind of cool. And so when you're laying there in bed, first, don't drink any alcohol, take any drugs, eat any gummies, do anything to alter your mind at all, even chamomile tea. Just drink water. Prepare it as if you're going to have a date with your loved one. And it is kind of a date, even though they've been visiting you in your inner dreams already all along and you're just not remembering them. Maybe perhaps tonight is the night that you will have an incredible lucid dream with your loved one. So no alcohol, no sleep aids, no sound effect machines, no fan running, nothing to engage the conscious mind. We want to drop into the depths of the subconscious mind or release the conscious mind so that you can be all at peace and calm in your subconscious mind, which is the one that you go for trips with, where you maybe have dreams that you dated an actor. One night I dreamt I was walking on the beach with Jim Carrey, and he was, or Jim Carrey, and he was going up and out of the sand like a scene from Beetlejuice. And I was like, oh, stop being so silly. I mean, how can you have a dream like that? How can you have a dream with someone you don't know, you haven't met, and it's so real? So that's the subconscious mind. It's pretty fun. So we want to get there. We want to hang out there when you go to sleep. Which means, and a lot of people are trying to be awake at 3 a.m, the what they call the witching hour. I'd prefer to call it the blessing hour, where you have more chance of experiencing the lucid dream, which means you should be asleep, not awake at 3 a.m. So frequently you've just had a dream, but you don't remember it. You reached REM sleep, where that subconscious mind is just at peace, and then you got woken up because you had a party or you had fun. I mean, one of my lucid dreams was incredible, and I don't want to make you feel bad by saying that, but just know that it's achievable. And with my mom and my dad and my brother Charles, who are all in spirit, and we were all at this restaurant, the Red Onion. This is a place I haven't been to in years, but this was the scene, and it was like a family reunion, and it was lovely. So you can have these experiences and not discount them as just an ordinary dream. But you got to get to sleep. You got to not try to wake up at 3. So how do we do this? How do we untrain our brain or train our brain? How do we stop being really analytical and saying the wrong things out loud? Another thing. So you might be saying things like, I never remember my dreams. I can't remember the last time I remembered a dream. These are words that you speak. And who are you speaking to when you talk out loud and you say things like that? You're talking to the subconscious mind. So if you really want to have an engaging conversation that you remember when you wake up, you need to train your brain, instruct your brain on what to do in order for that to happen. One of the things you do is you speak to yourself, your higher self, out loud. Yeah, there's two of you. There's you and there's your higher you, the spirit that looks over you, the part of you that you need in order to have a lucid dream. So just take a little time and believe. You have to believe. Belief is number one. The number one ingredient to having a lucid dream is believing that you can. So if for years and years and years you've been telling yourself that you cannot have a lucid dream, well, or you don't remember your dreams, you've got to tell your brain. You can be walking around throughout the day. I remember my dreams. I am so grateful that I remember my dreams. I'm so grateful to you, higher self, and it is up to you. This is like guardian angels and spirit guides can't do this for you. This is something only you can do. You have to instruct yourself and stop saying the things that you think. Things that are fun to say. Think the word parrot. When people say people are parroting each other, that's the automatic throw up that we say when we say things like, oh, I'm always losing my keys. And yeah, because you're saying I'm always losing my keys. So you want to make sure you're careful about what you say. Don't be nervous about it. Don't panic about it. If you say something that is instructional and in a negative way, then you want to, and you become aware of it, then you just go, okay, and you try to word it another way and say, I'm so grateful that I remember where my keys are. Thank you for helping me find my keys. So this is about dreaming, though, and this is night, and it is time to sleep. It is challenging sometimes. And I'm telling you not to do anything to make it easy. No chamomile tea, nothing that makes you sleepy. We have to lay down, and if you can think of it as a meditation, going to sleep is meditating. It's your meditation for the day. You don't have to do it in the morning. And as you lay there and meditate, and I just saw a little blue light being, so I got distracted. Sorry about that. And those are teeny tiny, they look like teeny tiny little Christmas lights, and they fly around in and out of the matrix, as they say. So you're laying there, but all day long you've been saying, I'm grateful that I'm going to remember my dreams from now on. Thank you for helping me remember my dreams. And you're talking to yourself. You have the ability to instruct yourself. I'm going to give you proof right now. Have you ever driven? Have you ever said, like, I'm going to go to the 7-Eleven or the Circle K or H&B just popped into my head. If you've ever said that, like, to someone, going, all right, I'm going to be back in a little while. I'm going over to the whatever store. And you've been there before. Have you ever gotten there and not even remembered how you got there? Or not remembered the drive there? And got a little unnerved at how you were able to arrive there? And your hands are the ones on the steering wheel. How'd I get there? I wasn't even aware of it. How'd I get there? Gosh, I could have killed someone, couldn't I? That feeling, that's the subconscious mind. Man, it is so good at getting things done as long as you train it. So by speaking out loud, I'm going to go to the store. Instead, you're going to say, I'm going to go to a dream with my loved one. Tonight, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with my loved one, and I am going to remember it when I wake up in the morning. Thank you, God, for giving me the ability to remember my dreams. You need to say these things and elevate yourself and really, truly believe it. And if the first night you do not remember your dream, well, it took a while to learn how to ride a bike. It took a long time to learn how to drive a car. Any skill that you want to learn. Painting, for instance. People are always like, oh, you're so good at painting. And I'm like, you know how many hours I painted to get good at it? So you need to practice. Just like a yoga practice. You're going to practice how to remember your dreams and believe that you can, because the reason you have ever remembered a dream is because you were born with the ability to kind of meld the subconscious mind with the conscious mind, to mix them up. And they've proven that with 3D imaging of the brain, that you're not just using the left hemisphere or right hemisphere. For those of you who've been taught that, and we were all taught that before, don't feel bad that you're learning today that you always, almost all day long, are using both left and right hemisphere at the same time. That's that autonomic function of the brain, where you're really just not aware of what you're doing. You're walking around and you're just doing something and you're thinking about something else. That's commingling of those two sides of the brain. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. You can do it. I have complete faith in you that you can have a lucid dream. And I have helped many people achieve that. So those of you who have, I hope that you'll put comments in. This is the first day, the first video of my new reels on psychic mediumship that I've been keeping kind of private for years. Well, 62 years, kind of keeping it a secret. But not because I've been doing it. And you can go to my website, clairerowley.com and book a reading should you want a reading from me. So what we're talking about now is grief and meeting up with those who have passed before, and feeling it more tangible than they are right now, sitting there watching this with you, going, hello, are you listening? Hey, listen to her. Listen to her. I want to have a party with you tonight. You do not drink that glass of wine tonight. Don't have that gummy. You need to have a clear brain with the neurons doing what they're supposed to do without extra ordinary things, without a sound maker. You can do this. You can do this also by, before you start settling down, turning off the TV and listening to classical music or some kind of music that doesn't have lyrics, that makes you feel elevated. There's frequency music too, the God frequency music. You can find that in your apps and on YouTube. But remember, we want to also close our eyes to distractions. So no TV, no looking at your phone, and you want to just lay down and get ready to commune with your loved ones. And you do this by telling yourself, I am going to remember my dreams. Thank you, Claire. That's my name. Thank you, Claire, for allowing me to remember my dreams. Thank you, Claire, for helping me sleep through the 3 o'clock hour so that I can enjoy that 3 o'clock hour and help me remember what happened during that time when I wake up. See, this tickling feeling is frequently just spirit kisses, and they're just really excited. And you can also have orbs flying around that you just can't see them. Trust me, I see them a lot. And I'm not crazy. I even had a scan of my brain to make sure everything was good. And I'm not the only medium that's done that. So you lay down after a day of celebrating and remembering good times. You can even kind of pick a dream, and you can sit down and make like a room in your mind. What is this room going to look like? Where we're going to meet? Because they can meet you anywhere. There's no space and time. That means there's no space between you, and there's no time they're not with you. That doesn't mean they're like spying on you. If you're doing a private thing, they're not sitting there watching you. There's no judgment. All they have is unconditional love for you. And it's just something else. I had an NDE, so know that when it happened to me, which mine was very short, The the experience was that I was just in perfect white light. It was perfect temperature, perfect white, not too bright. Everything was just perfect. The sound was right. It wasn't too loud. It wasn't too soft. It's just perfection is the best way I can describe it. And I wasn't even aware that I was in this perfect place until I heard what I thought was my mom calling me to come back. And she just thought I passed out again because I used to have 10 food allergies that made me pass out hundreds of times in my lifetime. Who knows how many NDEs I had with all the allergies? I could have had a lot of anaphylaxis, near-death experiences over those years. I know it felt like I was dying a lot when I ate. So back to this. This is time to try to bring your energy up to a joyful state, because it's easier for them to reach you because they're in a joyful state. That pure feeling I felt was just incredible. Incredible. So if you're thinking they're suffering, they're incredible. The body is what carries all the pain. But there is longing to be with you, but they're with you. They are longing for you to know they're there. They're longing for you to hear them. They're longing for you to see the messages, the butterflies. And, I know a lot of you just go, yeah, I saw a fly, or I saw a butterfly, or yeah, I saw a bird. Everybody says that, but is it really my loved one? So how do you know when it's a message? It's a bird acting really weird is what it is. Like, I had my mom for 14 days bring me hummingbirds, and they tapped on the window. They flew right in front of the window each day, but one day I almost missed one, and it tapped on the window so that he's like, hey, don't leave. You need to see that I'm here because I'm day 12, and you need to know that everything's going to be okay. And these kind of messages, a coyote walking and just stopping and looking at you in the middle of the road. These are not random moments. This is serendipity. This is synchronicity. This is how you know. Unusual things like, I know that the quarters that my dad dropped on my shoulder laying on a couch from nowhere with 2 witnesses in the room, I couldn't explain it away. Where'd they come from? 4 quarters just dropped on my shoulder. And my dad said before he died, because I asked him, because this is what you should do. You should ask everyone you know that is going to be leaving soon, what signs are you going to give me? Because you can kind of organize it before. And you can also organize it after. You can tell them what you want them to start doing. But my dad, he goes, I'm not going to give you any pennies or dimes. I'm going to give you quarters. And I can't tell you how many quarters. I'm gathering them up. There's so many. During my move, oh my gosh, it's just, and they're not in places. I'm not carrying quarters around. How many of you are carrying coins around now? I just don't do it that much. 4 quarters just dropped on my shoulder. This isn't magic. This is just amazing. And I wish more of that for you. So when you find something that is just really strange, why is that bird flying in front of the window? Because you're being given a sign that you're not alone, that they're there with you. Butterflies, they're the easiest for spirit to manipulate. They're light, and they're kind of just thrown around by the wind, so they're very easy and cooperative with spirit, as all winged things are. Dragonflies, daddy long leg. After my mom died, I had not a daddy long leg. What are they? Praying mantis. She flew on me. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but all right, you're getting off of me now. And I put I tried to put it on the plant that it flew off. It was a beautiful flower plant. And I'm like, oh, it'll love being on this plant. And I set it on there and it flew right back on me. This went on for over an hour. I've got video of it. I'll be adding this kind of stuff to my YouTube channel. Beyond Reason is my YouTube channel where I've already started posting some readings that I do with EMF readers and stuff, little clips to show you how your spirits can interact with our readings or during the reading using one of these cheap little, I got it for $13 on Amazon, and they light up and spirit interacts with it. So when a spirit is around during a reading, and I'll get like, they'll say something to me, this lights up too. It's really something else. You'll have to check it out. But for now, it's about sleep. Am I boring you to sleep yet? Are you getting sleepy? It's time to go to sleep. It's time to hang out with your loved ones. So you go to sleep and you say, thank you. You can even give your higher self a name. I'm Claire, and my higher self is Clarity. Kind of funny, but. So I say, thank you, Clarity, for making sure that I remember my dreams when I wake up. And then I go to sleep. And if you can't find your way to sleep that easy, you can try to find, with your eyes closed, a spot. And try to open the spot. I don't know what you'll see, because I see different things. Like I can see the molecules in the air between me and the camera right now. Most people can't see spirit or see the molecules and stuff, and I have had other mediums say they can as well. So that's probably part of the ability to see spirit, is that ability to see the molecules in the air. So what I see when I meditate, which is how I fall asleep, I think about that I'm meditating and doing it laying down, and see this little spot in there, and it is a different color than the rest of the color that I see. I see mostly black. It kind of looks like static on a screen, but it's very calm, and that's from doing a lot of work, because I used to see different things like shooting around, and that was from trauma, from healing from things from trauma, which I help people reach that level where you can calm your third eye. So when you're in that meditative state and you're closing your eye and you're going to try to open this tiny little spot in the middle until it is liquid violet. That's the color. That's the color I see. And if you don't see the same color, don't worry, because some of you are colorblind. So everyone's experience is not the same, and there's no wrong way to meditate. You just try to just lay there and not think. So you can create this room. You can also do this to bring your spirit guides in for a meditation, by the way. So you can create a room. I created this room in the redwood forest, and I have been there. I woke up one morning in this little, I wish I could remember the name so that you guys could go there. There's I just started getting too tired and I had to pull over. And I drove off and I went down, and there was this little motel. Looked like it only had like 15 rooms or something. And I checked in, and the next morning I woke up and I was in the redwood forest, and there was a Bambi and a bunny. Whatever. There was the deer. There was a little doe and a bunny, and the light streaming down, and gigantic redwood trees with, you know what, I'll put it in the comments when I remember. I'll find out where it was. It's a magical place. I had no idea what it looked like because I was driving in the dark for so long. And waking up to that was just, it was like waking up in Sedona when I went there. There was no internet, and I go to Sedona, and I wake up in the next morning, and there I was in the red soil and the vortex is there is incredible. So, two wonderful ways of waking up in the morning. So I choose that kind of an atmosphere for my dream, for my meeting place, for my spirits to come and hang out. And I have this red, moist bark floor, and some boulders, and some redwood trees that have been chopped and have them laying down, and I create that stream of light coming through, and the sound is subtle bird sounds and little swishing of animals. And then I try to picture that. And if you can do that, that can kind of make you get sleepy as you are imagining these things dropping into your little scene. And make sure your position in your place is very comfortable for you to sit on. And then start talking to your loved one in your mind. And I wish you a magical morning tomorrow morning after watching this. If you're still watching, I appreciate likes and shares. And I will continue to bring you more information about spirit and the afterlife, as I am a psychic medium. And just know that you are, and none of us are ever truly alone. Sweet dreams. See you in the next video. Bye.